Let me tell you something. It's not just talking, it's programming your mind for success. It's setting the tone for your entire day. It's shaping your future one morning at a time. You see, what you say to yourself in those first few moments after you wake up can influence the course of your entire day. And if you can learn to control your days, then you can learn to control your life. It's really that straightforward, and at the same time, incredibly deep. Let me ask you this. Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to have it all together? They're successful, they're content, they're always moving forward. What's their secret? I'll tell you. They've mastered the art of self-talk. They understand how to motivate themselves, how to drive themselves, how to be their own greatest ally and their own most devoted supporter. And that's exactly what I want to teach you today. And I want to show you how speaking 5 simple statements to yourself every morning can truly transform your life. But before we get into those 5 statements, let's explore why this practice is so important. Think of your mind as a garden. Every thought you think, every word you say to yourself is a seed you're planting in that garden. You can choose to plant flowers, or you can choose to plant weeds. You can nourish thoughts of growth and positivity, or you can allow negative thoughts to spread unchecked. The choice is completely yours. But here's the catch. That garden is going to grow whether or not you tend to it. So why not be deliberate about what you're planting? Why not begin each day by planting the seeds of achievement, motivation, and optimism? That's where these 5 lines come into play. They're like a daily boost for your mind, a kind of mental fertilizer. They're the water that nurtures those empowering seeds. They're the sunlight that energizes your inner potential. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Jim, I'm not a morning person. I can barely remember where I am when I wake up, much less 5 statements. And I understand that. I truly do. But that's exactly why this matters so much. You see, those first few minutes after you wake up, that's when your mind is at its most open. That's your golden window of opportunity. That's when you can set the tone for everything that follows. It's like programming a computer. And those 5 lines, that's your personal success code. So what are these 5 lines? That's what we're going to dive into now, breaking them down one by one and exploring how each one can impact your life in a deep and lasting way. But understand this first. These are not just ordinary words. These aren't shallow feel-good phrases that you repeat without thought. No, these are potent declarations that, when internalized and truly believed, can shift your entire mindset. You see, success isn't solely about what you do, it's about who you become. And who you become is directly shaped by what you believe about yourself, your talents, and your future. These 5 lines are designed to sculpt those beliefs. They are crafted to help you become the person you must evolve into in order to realize your biggest dreams. Think of them as a daily pep talk from the most inspiring coach you'll ever meet, yourself. Now, let's get into the first line. The first thing you should say to yourself every morning is, today I choose to be positive. Notice the word choose. That word is key. Positivity is not something that simply happens to you. It doesn't rely on how things are going in your life. It's a conscious decision, a decision you make every single day. When you wake up and declare, today I choose to be positive, you are making a promise to yourself. You are instructing your mind that no matter what unfolds today, no matter what obstacles arise, you will face them with a positive mindset. That decision, that moment, can completely shift your experience. Because when you decide to be positive, you're not just influencing your emotions. You're shifting your entire perception of the world around you. You're influencing how you respond to others, what opportunities you notice, and even how people respond to you. Think about it. Have you ever had one of those days where everything seems to go wrong? Where one frustration leads to another until you feel like the day is spiraling out of control? We've all experienced that. But the truth is, those days often start with a negative mindset. When you wake up feeling anxious, discouraged, or annoyed, and you dwell on all the things that might go wrong, you're setting yourself up to experience those very things. You're programming your mind to focus on the negative. And that's what it will find. But when you start your day by choosing positivity, you flip that script. You tell your mind to focus on what's good, to search for what's working, to find opportunities even in challenges. And that shift, it's powerful. You begin to notice the small joys you used to overlook. You tackle problems with a proactive attitude. Your energy becomes contagious. People gravitate toward you. And before you know it, your life starts changing from the inside out. And here's something even more fascinating. When you choose positivity often enough, it begins to choose you. It becomes automatic. You attract people, opportunities, and experiences that align with your optimistic energy. I'm not saying this will make all your problems disappear. Life will still challenge you. But with a positive mindset, you're armed with the most powerful tool to navigate those challenges. There's a saying, life is 10% what happens to you, and 90% how you respond to it. When you choose positivity, you're taking control of that 90%. You're deciding that no matter what comes your way, your reaction will move you forward, not backward. So every morning, make that choice. Say to yourself, today, I choose to be positive. And then watch as that choice starts to shape everything. Your day, your week, your year, your life. Now, let's look at the second line. I am grateful for all that I have. Gratitude is one of the most transformative forces available to us. It has the ability to change how you see your world. When you begin your day with gratitude, you're setting a foundation for success that's built on awareness and appreciation. It's so easy to fall into the trap of focusing on what we lack. We look at others, compare our lives to theirs, and feel like we're not measuring up. We chase goals, achievements, material possessions, never pausing to appreciate what we've already been blessed with. But when you begin each morning by acknowledging what you're thankful for, you shift that focus entirely. You remind yourself of how much you already have. You ground yourself in abundance rather than scarcity. And let me assure you, no matter where you are in life, there is always something to be thankful for. Maybe it's your health, your relationships, your shelter, or simply the fact that you woke up to see another day. Maybe it's the skills you've developed, the lessons you've learned, the people who support you. Whatever it is, when you express gratitude for it, you're planting seeds of joy and fulfillment in your mind. Practicing gratitude doesn't just make you feel better in the moment, it trains your mind to continuously notice the good. Over time, you start seeing more things to be thankful for. Your whole world starts looking brighter. That cup of coffee in the morning, be grateful for it. The comfort of your bed, be thankful. The ability to walk, speak, think, dream, all blessings. When you look at life through the lens of gratitude, you realize how incredibly rich you already are. Now, I know you might be asking, Jim, what if I'm going through something really hard? How do I find gratitude in that? And that's a valid question. But understand this, gratitude is not reserved for the easy times. In fact, it's during life's toughest seasons that gratitude becomes the most valuable. It gives you perspective. It reminds you that even in the storm, there are moments of peace. It builds resilience. It helps you endure and grow. And here's something else. Gratitude attracts more good. When you appreciate what you have, you create space for more blessings to enter your life. It's like saying to the universe, I value what I've been given, and I'm ready for what's next. So every morning, take a few seconds, even just 30 seconds, to say, I am grateful for all that I have. And if possible, name a few specific things, maybe your family, maybe your career, maybe your breath. Just get into the habit of noticing what's good. Make gratitude a core part of how you start your day. Let it become your foundation. Now, the third line you should speak to yourself every morning is this: I am capable of achieving great things. This is about belief, deep personal belief in your own power. When you tell yourself this, you are affirming your potential. You are rejecting the limits that the world may try to place on you. You are choosing to believe in your ability to grow, to change, to succeed. Belief is where everything starts. If you don't believe in your own capability, nothing else matters. Your actions, your choices, your persistence, they all stem from what you believe you're capable of. When you wake up and declare, I am capable of achieving great things, you're programming your subconscious to look for ways to make that true. You're aligning your thoughts, your energy, your habits with success. This statement doesn't mean you won't face obstacles. It doesn't mean every goal will be easy. It's about understanding that within you lies the power to accomplish remarkable things. One of the greatest barriers to success is self-doubt. It's that subtle voice in your head whispering, you can't do it. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. Or you're not talented enough. And believe me, that voice can be incredibly convincing if you let it. But when you begin your day by affirming your strengths, you're silencing that voice of insecurity. You're replacing it with a voice filled with assurance, a voice rooted in self-consciousness. You're telling yourself that you have what it takes to push through, to solve problems, and to reach your objectives. Now pause and reflect on this for a moment. Think about the most incredible human accomplishments: the Great Wall of China, the space shuttle launch, the invention of the internet. All these achievements started as simple ideas in someone's mind. They began as dreams, as glimpses of what could be. And what turned those dreams into reality? It wasn't just intelligence or resources or even talent. It was belief. It was individuals who stared down seemingly insurmountable odds and said, I can do this. I am capable of making this happen. That's the extraordinary strength of belief. That's what recognizing your own potential truly looks like. When you genuinely believe you're capable of extraordinary things, you open yourself up to possibilities that you might have never imagined before. You begin to notice doors where others see only walls. You begin to take steps, however risky or uncertain, that others wouldn't dare to take. And here's the truth: you are capable of great things. Every single one of you holds within you unrealized potential. You have abilities, gifts, and insights that are uniquely yours. Your experiences, your struggles, your perspective. No one else on this planet has your exact story. But your strengths, like muscles, need to be exercised. If you don't use them, if you don't believe in them, they'll stay dormant. That's why it's essential to affirm your strengths and potential each and every day. When you say, I am capable of achieving great things, you're not just giving yourself encouragement. You're rewriting your mental code. You're shaping the beliefs that will guide your decisions and actions. And beliefs, especially the ones we hold about ourselves, have a powerful way of becoming our reality. When you believe you're capable of greatness, you begin to move through life as someone who is destined for greatness. You begin to approach tasks, relationships, and challenges with the energy of someone who is worthy, competent, and full of promise. I'm not telling you that believing in yourself alone will solve all your problems. Of course not. You still need to put in the effort. You still need to grow, to practice, to learn, and improve. But belief in your potential is the cornerstone of that entire process. Think of it this way: if you don't think you can accomplish something, why would you try? Why would you commit to the effort, take on the hardship, or persist through adversity? But when you do believe, when you truly internalize that belief, You give yourself the courage to dream bigger, to act boldly, and to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. So every single morning, look in the mirror and say it with conviction. I am capable of achieving great things. Say it like you mean it, because you absolutely should. And then, as you go about your day, let that belief influence your actions. Let it be the force that pushes you to try harder, to aim higher, to stay focused, even when it gets tough. Remember that the only real limits in life are the ones we create in our own minds. So, why create limits? Why settle for less than what you're capable of achieving? Tap into your potential. Have faith in your capabilities, and you'll begin to accomplish things you once thought were out of reach. Now let's go to the fourth line you should repeat to yourself every morning. I embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. This line, more than anything, is about how you choose to interpret your experiences. It's about how you view the inevitable trials and difficulties that show up in life. Because challenges, they're not optional. They're part of the journey, but your reaction to them, that's completely in your control. You see, most people view challenges as barriers. They see them as blockades standing between where they are and where they want to go. And when you see obstacles like that, they take on that power. They stop your progress, drain your energy, and often push you to quit. But what if you changed your perspective? What if you saw every single challenge, every tough moment, every unexpected curveball as a chance to grow? What if those roadblocks were actually ramps leading you to become better, wiser, and more resilient? That's the idea behind this affirmation. When you say, I embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, you're not pretending the challenges are easy. You're not denying the pain, the stress, or the fear that can come with them. Instead, you're choosing to believe that growth often comes disguised as difficulty. You're deciding that your toughest moments can become your most meaningful teachers. Think about your life. Think about the moments when you've grown the most. Was it when everything was going perfectly? Was it when life was easy and comfortable? Probably not. Your biggest growth likely came when you were tested, when you were forced to rise to a new level, when you had to dig deep. That's the essence of a challenge. It pulls something out of you that you didn't know was there. It stretches you, it strengthens you. And when you face it head on, it leaves you transformed. So when you embrace challenges, you're not just putting on a brave face. You're stepping into a mindset that looks for lessons in adversity. You're becoming the kind of person who doesn't shrink in fear, but expands in faith. You learn to spot the opportunity in the struggle, the insight in the setback, and the victory that's hidden in the trial. And something amazing happens when you live with this attitude. Challenges start to lose their power to intimidate you. You stop avoiding hard things. You stop letting fear dictate your choices. You begin to welcome difficulty as part of the journey. Because you know that even if you fall, even if things don't go your way, you'll get back up better, wiser, and stronger. This doesn't mean that life becomes easy. It doesn't mean that pain disappears. But it does mean that difficulty stops being a dead end and becomes a doorway. So when you wake up in the morning and declare, I embrace challenges as opportunities for growth, you're training your mind to stay strong under pressure, to remain open during struggle, and to be committed to becoming better every single day. And as you begin to face challenges with this attitude, you'll start to see real change, not just in your circumstances, but in who you are becoming. And now we come to the fifth and final line you should speak to yourself every morning. I take action toward my goals every day. This is where everything comes together, because no matter how positive you are, no matter how grateful or capable or growth-oriented your mindset is, nothing changes without action. This is the point where thoughts turn into reality, where beliefs give birth to outcomes, where dreams take their first breath. When you declare, "I take action toward my goals every day," you're making a powerful commitment. You're telling yourself that today, not someday, not later, not next week, today, you're going to take a step forward. It might be a big step, or it might be a small one, but it's movement, it's momentum, it's progress. You see, action builds confidence, action builds habits, action creates results. You can visualize, affirm, and journal all day long, but without action, none of it materializes. The universe rewards those who move, those who show up, those who do the work. You don't have to leap a mountain in one day. You just have to take one step and then another. The beautiful thing about daily action is that it compounds. A single small step might not seem like much, but taken every day, those steps add up to miles. Consistency is more powerful than intensity. Doing a little bit each day toward your dreams is more effective than doing a lot once in a while. Because when you act daily, you stay connected to your purpose. You stay in motion, and motion creates clarity, inspiration, and achievement. So every morning, tell yourself with conviction, "I take action toward my goals every day." Then ask yourself, what is one thing I can do today that moves me closer to where I want to be? Maybe it's making a phone call. Maybe it's writing one page. Maybe it's learning a new skill. Whatever it is, do it. And when you finish, recognize that action for what it is, a building block in the foundation of your future. As you start to live this way, you'll feel a shift. You'll stop waiting for the right time or perfect conditions. You'll stop being paralyzed by doubt or fear. You'll become someone who moves, someone who builds, someone who creates. And before you know it, those small daily actions will have created a life that once only existed in your imagination. Challenges, they're incredibly significant, but they mean very little without action. To genuinely succeed, to truly transform your life, you have to do more than just hope or plan. You have to act. When you affirm to yourself, "I take action towards my goals every day," you're making more than a statement. You're making a promise. You're pledging to yourself that you won't just dream about success, you'll actively work towards it. You're affirming that today, just like yesterday and tomorrow, you will do something, anything, even if it's small, that moves you closer to your desired outcome. Now, I want you to really consider the power of this idea. Think deeply about what your life might look like if you truly lived by those words. If every single day, without skipping, you took even one action that supported your goals. Imagine the progress you'd make over a week, a month, a year. See, success isn't about giant leaps. It's about consistency. It's the result of steady, deliberate effort over time. It's those tiny daily steps that, when added together, span incredible distances. Think of it this way. If you wanted to travel on foot from New York to Los Angeles, you wouldn't attempt to do it in a single bound. You'd go step by step. Each stride may seem insignificant on its own, but as they accumulate, you find yourself crossing miles, then states, then an entire country. That's what consistent action does. It bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to go. And I know what some of you may be thinking, but I'm overwhelmed. I have work, family, responsibilities. How can I possibly find time to pursue my goals every single day? I understand. Life is busy. Our days fill up fast, often with demands we didn't anticipate. But here's the reality. If something truly matters to you, you'll carve out time for it. Your goals, your passions, your ambitions, those deserve your attention every single day. This doesn't mean you have to dedicate hours each day. Sometimes, all it takes is 10 or 15 minutes. It could be reading a chapter of a book that sharpens your mind. It could be writing down your thoughts, reaching out to a potential mentor, researching your industry, or organizing your ideas. The point isn't how much time you spend, but that you're doing something, that you're advancing, even if only by inches. And here's what's amazing. When you start taking daily action, big changes follow. First, you build momentum. One action leads to another. Each small success boosts your confidence. Every tiny win reaffirms your belief in what's possible. Then, almost without noticing, you begin seeing results. Maybe not instantly, maybe not dramatically, but gradually, unmistakably, progress appears. And those results, they fuel you. They push you to go further, to stay committed, to keep reaching higher. But possibly the most valuable thing you gain from taking daily action is the habit of consistency. You begin to build the most vital muscle for success, discipline. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll wake up ready to take on the world. Other days you'll want to pull the covers over your head. But discipline doesn't care about your mood. Discipline shows up. Discipline keeps going. So when you make this daily promise, I take action towards my goals every day, you're shifting away from relying on fleeting motivation and leaning into rock-solid discipline. That's the difference between wishful thinkers and true achievers. It's not about waiting for inspiration or the perfect moment. It's about choosing action, no matter the mood, no matter the circumstance. Make this a non-negotiable part of your morning. Say it with conviction. Say it like brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. It's just what you do. Then follow through. Ask yourself, what one thing can I do today that moves me closer to my dreams? Then go and do that thing. No delays, no putting it off, just action. Here's a helpful habit. Plan your action the night before. Before you go to sleep, decide what specific thing you're going to do tomorrow. That way, you start your day with clarity and direction. There's no hesitation. You wake up knowing your mission. You wake up with purpose. Now, as we come to the close of these 5 powerful daily affirmations, there's something incredibly important I want you to understand. These are not just phrases. They're not mere positive quotes to repeat and forget. These are declarations, commitments. They reflect who you are and who you're becoming. When you say, "Today I choose to be positive," you're making a decision to greet the world with optimism and enthusiasm, regardless of what the day throws at you. When you affirm, "I am grateful for all that I have," you're choosing to focus on abundance, to see the beauty in your life rather than the lack. When you declare, "I am capable of achieving great things," you're embracing your own potential, acknowledging your worth, and stepping into your power. When you tell yourself, "I embrace challenges as opportunities for growth," you're deciding not to fear hardship, but to learn from it, to use it as fuel to become better, stronger, wiser. And when you say, "I take action towards my goals every day," you're turning those affirmations into real-world momentum. You're making your dreams tangible, one action at a time. If you live these lines, really live them, they can change your life. They can alter your mindset, rewire your habits, and align your daily choices with your biggest aspirations. But only if you commit, only if you make them part of your everyday practice. Don't just say them once and forget. Repeat them, believe them, integrate them into how you approach your day. Let them become your compass, your daily reset, your blueprint for success. So here's my challenge to you. Make this your morning ritual. Before you check your messages, before you scroll through news or emails, take a few quiet minutes and speak these lines out loud, with presence, with intention. Let them shape the rest of your day. Say them with conviction. Carry them in your heart. Let them guide your behavior. Write them down. Post them where you'll see them, on your wall, on your mirror, on your phone's background. Keep them front and center. When life throws you a curveball, look at them. When doubts creep in, go back to them. When the day feels long or hard, ground yourself in these truths. These lines aren't just motivational fluff, they're your anchors, your daily declaration of identity and purpose. And here's one more powerful practice. At the end of each day, check in with yourself, reflect, ask yourself, did I choose positivity today? Did I focus on what I have instead of what I lack? Did I believe in my potential? Did I welcome challenges as chances to grow? Did I take one step, just one, toward my goals? Be honest, not to judge yourself, but to stay aware, to stay aligned, to celebrate your progress and learn from your missteps. If the answer is yes, even to just one of those questions, that's a win. And if the answer is no, that's okay too, because tomorrow is another chance, another opportunity to recommit, to refocus, to show up stronger. Success isn't about never falling, it's about getting back up every single time. It's about relentless persistence, daily recommitment. That's the magic of these 5 affirmations. They give you a framework, a daily reset, a chance to course correct and keep growing. So I urge you, make them part of your life. Wake up with them, speak them out loud. Let them echo in your mind and flow through your actions. Because these 5 lines, they're powerful. They're transformational. They hold the potential to shape your destiny. One morning, one action, one decision at a time. The thoughts you nurture, the words you speak, the steps you take, these are what shape who you become. And when those thoughts are rooted in positivity, when your words affirm gratitude, capability, and growth, and when your actions are aligned with your goals, you become You transform from someone who merely dreams to someone who manifests those dreams. You go from wishing for a better life to building it, day by day, moment by moment. You become someone who not only achieves, but also inspires. Someone who leads. Someone who leaves a mark. And it all begins with 5 daily declarations. Say them, believe them, live them, and watch as they transform your life. Not all at once, but powerfully, gradually, incredibly, one intentional morning at a time.